Hey board gamers, BJ from Game Gumbo here, back in the Gumbo Pot. This time taking a look at an accessory for a game that we really like. Stonemaier Games has a game called Tapestry, and we've been playing a ton of it. And they were kind enough to send us a review copy of their playmat that goes with the Tapestry game. So let's get right to that Game Toppers LLC table, take a look at the main board of Tapestry, compare it to the new player mat, and then I'll show you another mat that I really enjoy and kind of compare and contrast them. All right, this is the main game board of Tapestry. If you've ever played Tapestry, you're familiar with it. It's a 4-quarter board, 4-piece board that is double-sided for playing with either different player counts. And as you can see, the player board it's great looking. It's easy to figure out. You've basically got the 4 tracks here, but there's a 5th expansion. No room for it on here, so you'll have to play a separate board. Also, the buildings themselves don't really fit. If you play Tapestry, you can earn these special buildings that you can put on your city boards, but they don't really fit on here. So there's a workaround. There's these cool tiles that came with one of the expansions that we use. You put the tiles on there, and that tells you which one of the buildings you need to grab. But still, they're going to be off to the side. So the board is functional. It's beautiful, but it's got some limitations, especially with the expansions that have come out. And now I'll show you the playmat that they sent to us as a review copy. This is the playmat. It's pretty big, so I can't quite fit everything on there, but I'll make sure I'll highlight some of the parts to it. It's got the logo here, Tapestry, a civilization game by Stonemaier Games. You've got the main game board, so this is kind of the same thing we were just looking at, although I think this is a better comparison. This is the same exact game board that we were looking at. This is the smaller player count for 1 to 3 players. So you've got the smaller map. As you can see, the artwork looks very similar. Slightly different colors, but hues, I guess, maybe. Brightness, but it's basically the same. It's got the explanations right here, just like on the main game board, of the 3 extra scoring points. But let's look at some of the differences that I really like. Number 1, you've still got the places for the tokens if you want to, for the different buildings that you can earn on the 4 different tracks. But on the outside edge of the board, they've got the buildings. And they've got the buildings for science and military and technology with the sizes, with the little boxes to show you how big they are. So they'll fit right on the board for people to see. It goes all the way up to exploration here. They've also got the 5th set of buildings, the arts buildings. And that means you've got an arts track. So here we've got the arts track where you can put your pieces on, so you don't have to have that separate cardboard on the side of the table. And it's got places for it's not monuments, I can't remember what the name of these masterpieces, I think is what they're called. These little square cards that come out. This is where the deck goes, and then these are the square cards that will come out, including the stadium and the monolith. I actually don't remember what those are for. A little spot for the space tiles to go. Again, those were just kind of laid out on the board somewhere. You've got room for all the different decks. So we've actually got a little place for the technology, because normally we just kind of cram it all up. We've got a place for that is for the Tapestry cards, which were just kind of on the side here, as you can see. But this has a dedicated spot for those Tapestry cards. And then I guess that's the discard. I can't really see it from this far, so I'm not sure what that is. But as you can see, a very functional, very, basically the same game board that you have in terms of the cardboard. But I always like the way the mats are, and it's got all the expansions that have extra bits and bobs, including the arts expansion and the extra buildings that go along with them. So very functional, very useful. If you like playing with the expansions, there's just no reason not to get this kind of mat to play with it. What's the quality like? So this part is going to be kind of tough to show you, but it looks like it's got some of the same things that we've seen in other premium game mats. And then it's got the stitching on the edges. So I was trying to compare it to one that I purchased Now, yes, I do have a Game Toppers LLC table that Berkey sent to us for use in the Gumbo Pot, and also that we use with the Southern Board Game Fest. But I buy a lot of the other stuff that comes with it. So he sent me some game mats like the one you see here on the bottom. But I bought this Baseball Highlights 2045, number one, because I wanted to support Game Toppers LLC. They're great convention presents, but also because I love the game, Baseball Highlights 2045. And how do these two compare? So this is going to be tough to show, but it looks like the Berkey's mats are that 3mm premium mat. And these are neoprene, of course. And these look a little bit thinner, but not much. You know, probably 2mm or maybe 3mm. It's very close. It just feels a little tiny bit thinner, but nothing in terms of. I've been on those little 1mm mats. This is not like that at all. This is a thick quality mat from Stonemaier. And then I was thinking about the stitching because I played on a mat that didn't have stitching, and you get those frayed ends, you know, from just kind of beating it up, rolling it out, beating it up, rolling it out. This one has that stitching. Yes, the Game Toppers LLC mat has a double layer of stitching on the outside. It's really thick, but this is pretty close. I mean, I don't really notice that much of a difference between the two. Maybe a little thicker on the stitching on the Game Toppers LLC mat versus the Stonemaier mat, but very, very close. I do like the vibrant colors that are on the Baseball Highlights 2045 mat. I mean, you can kind of see these are easy to read, but this really stands out. I mean, all of the typeface that they use, of course, but more importantly, the coloring and the art really stands out on that Baseball Highlights 2045 mat, including the little, let's see if I can show you, including the signature of Mike Fitzgerald right here. So you can see all that. It just pops on the table. This one is a little bit more muted, although everything is readable. It's not that at all. It just seems a little bit muted compared to the Baseball Highlights 2045. All right, so my verdict. Well, again, I paid for the Baseball Highlights 2045 mat. I did not pay for the Stonemaier Tapestry mat. I prefer Baseball Highlights 2045 over Tapestry, but I love both games. So, you know, that's just the little priors to let you know whenever I talk about this. The quality of the Tapestry mat is perfect for what we're playing with. It is a high quality mat. It's at least 2mm, maybe thicker. Very comfortable. Looks great on the table. The colors and the printing, yes, is a little bit more muted than I'm used to from the Game Toppers LLC mats. But the Game Toppers LLC mats, let's face it, they're the top of the line. They're the premium mats in the industry. They've got the best coloring and the best printing. These are very, very close. I don't know if it's the difference in the materials that they use or what it is, but also the mat that I'm showing you from Tapestry has a lot to show off, so that could also be it. But we're talking really just picayune differences. We're not talking about something that is, you know, they're both in the 9 out of 10 range, right? Maybe one's a 10 out of 10, the other one's a 9.5 range in terms of quality. So I don't think you can go wrong with the Tapestry mat at all. If you like the Tapestry, you know, who's this for? This is not for the casual player of Tapestry. If you're just playing Tapestry, you're not anticipating on playing it more than a couple times, there's no reason to get it. If you're like me and you like to enjoy it and you like to play it every couple of months or, you know, 2 or 3 times a year, and you like playing with the expansions, there's just no reason not to get this, because if you're playing with the expansions, you've got the space for it. Everybody can see what's going on, you know, with all the different buildings and what's available. You still have the little tiles that are going to go out there to also tell other people as they go up the different tracks. But yeah, clearly, this is made for those people who want to bling out their game, who play Tapestry a lot, who always, when that latest expansion, as in the last one that came out, when it comes out, you want to be the first to play it and to play it a bunch of times. This is the mat for you. Yeah, that's the verdict. Good quality, solid mat, really good. I don't see any reason not to play with this Tapestry mat when I play. It's not exactly the top as the Baseball Highlights mat, but I like it better than playing with the regular game board, and I would always play with it. So, until next time, laissez, bon temps, rouler.